Good day, girls, and welcome to the class. Today we'll do Science and Technology Part 2, Chapter 5 towards Green Energy. We were to do this chapter in 3 parts. We have already finished the first part, wherein we learned how to generate electricity based on the principle of electromagnetic induction. We need a generator. To rotate the generator, we need a turbine, and to drive the turbine we need energy source, and based on which type of energy source is used to rotate the turbine, there are different types of power generating stations. In the first part we learn thermal power station where coal is used to generate electricity. In today's part we are going to learn how nuclear energy is used to generate electrical energy. Okay, now if you look at this nuclear power plant, it is called as the nuclear power plant because we are using the nucleus that is obtained by the nuclear fission reaction. That is, we are using the nucleus of an atom. So the reaction takes place over here, where the body where the reaction takes place is called as the nuclear reactor, wherein we are using the neutron that is present in the nucleus. The fission reaction takes place, nuclear fission. We will be doing it what is nuclear fission later on. Okay, now the reaction takes place over here and high amount of heat energy is given out. However, the energy released by the fission of nucleus of an atom using uranium and plutonium here is used to generate a steam of high temperature and pressure. That means the heat given over here is used in boiling the water to get converted into steam. That steam is used to turn the turbine. This steam is made to flow under high temperature and pressure and makes the generator to rotate. The generator rotates, thereby producing electrical energy. So you can see over here. So in the nuclear reactor, the fuel, in the first case, in the first part, we saw how coal was used as a fuel. Here in the nuclear reactor, we use either uranium or we use plutonium. Okay, for the nuclear reaction to take place over here, and the reaction continues. Then when the steam falls on the turbine and the turbine rotates, the steam gets back converted into water and the process continues. So this is how the nuclear power plant works. This here, the nucleus, if you go to see here, the nuclear energy is getting converted into thermal energy. So during this reaction a large amount of heat is given out. This heat is used to heat the water. So the nuclear energy gets converted into thermal energy. The thermal energy gets converted into kinetic energy of steam. The kinetic energy of steam is converted into kinetic energy of turbine, and finally the kinetic energy of turbine is converted into electrical energy. The step by step transformation of energy is also shown in this figure here in yellow, which you can go through it and learn it by heart. Now here let us see what type of reaction takes place over here. The reaction that takes place in the nuclear reactor is known as the nuclear fission reaction. Now here, when a neutron is bombarded, here you can see a neutron is bombarded here, and the atom we have taken here is uranium-235. So this atom of uranium-235 is bombarded by a neutron. Then this atom gets converted into an isotope of uranium-236. This uranium-236 is an unstable atom, and so it immediately gives out barium as one product, krypton as another product. Along with barium and krypton, it gives 3 neutrons, the first, the second and the third neutron, and a large amount of energy is given out. So this is the first step. I repeat this again. An atom of uranium-235 is bombarded by a neutron, which converts it into an unstable isotope of 236, uranium-236, which gives out barium, krypton and 3 neutrons and a large amount of energy. So this energy is utilized to convert water into steam. Steam turns the turbine, which rotates the generator and then gives electrical energy. But this reaction is not a single step. This reaction continues. Again, each of these 3 neutrons will again try to bombard another neutron 235, which gets converted into uranium 236, which is unstable, and again you can see along with barium and krypton and heat, 3 neutron is given out. Okay, so the reaction again further, this 3 neutron again will bombard another 3 atom of uranium, and the reaction continues. So this 3 neutron generated in this process causes fission of 3 other uranium 235, releasing more amount of energy. The neutrons released in this reaction releases more energy through nuclear fission. So this reaction what is taking place is called as the fission of more uranium nuclei. This process of fission of uranium 235 atom continues and is called as the chain reaction. Now if this reaction is made to occur continuously, it becomes as a chain of reaction which releases a tremendous amount of energy which is harmful. If this reaction is not controlled, so this reaction will continuously take place and a large amount of energy can be given out within a fraction of time, and it can be very harmful or it can be very fatal. So it is very important that these nuclear reactions have to be controlled. We have to control the amount of neutron. Every time the neutrons are given out, it will bombard another uranium atom, and at that stage it will give a large amount of energy. So we need to control this reaction. What are we supposed to control here? To control the number of neutrons over here. So this reaction is to be controlled by using a neutron absorbent material like boron steel and cadmium rod, which absorbs excess neutrons, and heat generated can be used for the welfare of mankind. Hence, it is very absolutely necessary to control the fission reaction in nuclear power plant. So this in nuclear power plant we can say a controlled. So when we are setting up this cadmium rods and boron steel to absorb the neutron, this reaction becomes a controlled reaction. So in nuclear power plant we have a controlled chain reaction, okay, where energy is given out. Okay, so I can say again, I repeat, in nuclear power plant a controlled chain reaction results in release of thermal energy. That means at every stage heat energy is given out, which is used for electrical energy. Now, a nuclear power plant does not use fossil fuel like coal, as we saw in the first part of the chapter. Therefore, the problems like air pollution does not arise. Also, if sufficient nuclear fuel is available like uranium and plutonium, this can be a very good source of electrical energy. But yet it has its own problem. Okay, there are problems associated with nuclear power plant. Let us see what are those problems. Before that, you could see the slide, the schematic of nuclear power plant. So this is what we have, a nuclear reactor. Okay, the atom, uranium atom is kept into this. How it is bombarded? So it gives out heat. Water in the boiler is here. It gets converted into steam. Okay, it flows on the turbine. This turbine over here, when this turbine rotates, it rotates the generator, giving rise to electrical energy. Again, when the steam passes through the turbine over here, okay, it gets converted into water, which is warm, because steam gets converted into water. The water is warm over here. It goes to the cooling tower. The temperature of the water reduces. It comes back over here to the boiler. Again, it utilizes the heat that is given out during the nuclear fission. Water boils, gets converted into steam, and the cycle repeats. Okay. Now the problems using nuclear energy. The biggest problem here, the products after fission of nuclear fuel are also radioactive and they emit harmful radiation. The products are called as nuclear waste. You can be asked a one word or one line answer here. What is nuclear waste? Okay. So the how to dispose these nuclear waste is a big problem, and it is a big challenge for the scientist. Another problem is that if there is an accident that happens in the nuclear power plant, it can be very fatal. This is because the accident may release harmful substance which is radioactive. Now girls, in page 51, Right on top you have a yellow box, internet is my friend, and last you have compare. So in this page 51 you have two yellow boxes. One is internet is my friend and the other one compare. These both are deleted. Okay. Now one more very important thing when we are talking about nuclear energy, or we can say atomic energy. Now atomic energy involves two reactions. One is nuclear fission, which we just saw how it takes place in the reactor, and the other is the nuclear fusion. Now both these reaction, nuclear fission and nuclear fusion, results in the release of tremendous amount of energy. Nuclear fission reaction is used in nuclear power plant to produce electrical energy, and nuclear fusion reaction takes place in the sun, giving rise to solar energy. So you see nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Fission and fusion both gives out a lot amount of energy. Therefore atomic energy is an extensive source of energy. Now we go to the next one. Power generation based on energy of natural gas. Now by now you understood what is the method of generating electricity. Okay, so electrical energy, if you see, if the last one is electrical energy, the second last box should be generator, and then it should be a turbine. Now we have to see how does the turbine rotate. Here we are using the gas over here to rotate the turbine. Now in this power plant, the turbine is run by a gas at very high temperature and pressure generated by the combustion of natural gas. Natural gas is also a byproduct of fossil fuel, you can say. So when combustion takes place, combustion means burning of natural gas in the presence of oxygen. Okay, that is combustion. A flowchart can be seen over here at this stage how the power generation plant based on natural gas energy. Okay, now first you see a compressor for pressurized gas, that is air is kept under high pressure. Okay, there are three main stages over here. Okay, in this type of plant, the pressurized chamber is introduced into the combustion chamber using a compressor. In the combustion chamber, the natural gas burns in the presence of air. The gas at very high temperature and pressure generated in this chamber runs the turbine. The turbine then drives the generator to produce electricity. Okay, that can be seen over here. Now you know that the compressed gas or the natural gas which is kept here under high pressure is nothing but chemical energy. So we have chemical energy here in the natural gas. Okay, that gets converted into the kinetic energy when they are released, when the combustion of these takes place, that is when the reaction process takes place, it reacts with the oxygen, okay, you can say. Okay, then the gas moves under high speed, so kinetic energy is generated due to the combustion of natural gas. This kinetic energy then drives the turbine. The turbine then possesses kinetic energy, which in turn rotates the generator, giving electrical energy. Okay, so this flow chart is given over here. Please go through it. Okay, now you have a schematic of power plant based on the natural gas. So you can see the fuel over here, the natural gas. Okay, you can see. Then you have this combustion chamber where it reacts with the air and burns. As a result, gas is given out under high pressure and temperature. Then you have the gas turbine. When the gas turbine is there, it turns the generator, and the generator in turns from the when the generator rotates, you get the electrical energy. And here you can see emission of hot gases. So again, fuel over here, that is a natural gas. It is compressed in the chamber where it undergoes combustion, that is burning in the air. Okay, gives hot heat at high pressure, falls on the gas turbine. When the gas turbine rotates, it rotates the generator, which in turn gives electrical energy. Now on page 52 you have a blue box right down to the left side of the textbook. That is also being cancelled. Then on page 53 you have the first part, that is electrical energy generation and environment, wherein 3 points are discussed that, and on the right side you have a yellow box towards environmental friendly energy, towards green energy. That part is also cancelled. So in the third part of the lesson, we will be starting with hydroelectrical energy. Thank you.